out there in banjo land? Mike Heading here. Got another little banjo mini lesson for you today. This time we're going to be talking about transitioning from G to C and back again. It's probably the first chord change you practice when you were just starting out, and I'm going to give you some new ways to transition between the two. We're going to use some Scruggs licks, some melodic licks, and some single string licks, hopefully to get your fingers moving in some new directions. And if you enjoyed the lesson, feel free to subscribe below and you'll get the free tab sent to you. Otherwise, check out the rest of my lessons at MikeHeadingMusic.com. Here we go. Alright, so here's transition number one. We're going to do a Scruggs kind of forward roll into our C chord. So let me play it and then I'll talk about it. Okay, so the basis behind this lick is we're doing a forward roll into our C chord. You can refer to the tab if you want the exact notes I'm using, but this could be good ear training for you to kind of practice, just listening to what I'm playing and seeing if you can pick it up. One more time. So we're doing our forward roll like we always do. And then here we're going to slide into or roll into our C chord. And then we're going to forward roll on our C chord like we always do. And then we're going to do a forward reverse roll back down. So kind of the basis behind this lick is we're just making it sound more like a banjo. So instead of playing it like a guitar or something where you kind of walk up the notes a little bit more staccato, something like that, we're kind of using a banjo roll to simulate that sound. So instead of, we've got, so not the exact same notes, but kind of the general idea. We're just rolling into that C chord. Same thing, instead of going back down, down the notes of the scale, we're doing a roll version of that. And again, refer to the tab if you want the exact notes I'm using. So here's number two. We're starting with the forward roll like always. This one's a little bluesier. We're using the Foggy Mountain Breakdown lick and a G7. So we're putting the 3rd fret on the 2nd string and 3rd fret on the 1st string. And using our kind of same idea as the first one, we're using a forward roll to go into our C chord, except we're using a G7, kind of a bluesier sound. So we're going into our C chord that way. And then we're going back. Same idea as the first one, just a little bluesier. Alright, so here's number three. We're going to do more of a chromatic one this time. So we're using some chromatic notes on this one. Instead of walking up to our C like we've done, we're actually going to walk down. So if you played those notes single strings, it'd be 2nd fret on the 1st string, 1st fret on the 1st string, and then open. So we're kind of chromatically walking down. So we're just doing those on different strings to give it more of a roll. Then we're doing some pinches to get back down. We're more just walking straight down the scale. C, B, A, G. Just using some pinches to fill it up a little bit. One more time, here's number three. Alright, so here's number four. So this time we're going to do more of a melodic transition. Instead of doing a Scruggs roll, we're going to jump up here to the 7th fret and kind of use our home bass G melodic scale position to try some transitions as well. So here we go. So this is good practice for transitioning from down the neck to up the neck. So one more time, I'll do it kind of slow. Refer to the tab if you want the exact notes. way to get back down. We're just using kind of a scale. So what we're doing there, if you kind of break down the lick, you know, we're walking from a C note. That's kind of the basis of our lick. We're just walking back down, you know, C, B, A, G. And what we're doing there is we're filling it up with some notes around it. So that's how it'd sound if you played it single string. So we're just bouncing around on some notes to fill it up a little bit more. Alright, so here's number 5. We're using a folded scale this time. Same idea, we're getting back up to the 7th fret. Basically the same idea as the last one, just slightly different notes. One thing is your middle finger is going to have to get up to the 2nd string on this one, so pay attention to the tab. It's right here. Right there. That's a pretty common technique in melodic playing. Is sometimes, you know, in traditional Scruggs style, your middle finger of your right hand is going to primarily stay on the 1st string. But in melodic banjo playing, sometimes just because of the notes we need to grab, we're going to need to move that middle finger to the 2nd string. So if that's giving you trouble, just practice. Just practice moving your middle finger back and forth until you get it. You know, just like how your index finger felt a little weird switching between the 2nd and 3rd strings when you first started. Just takes a little bit of practice, but you'll get it down. Okay, here's number 6. This one we're going to do some more hammer-ons to kind of get up there. So. Faster. So we're just using some hammer-ons there, so. We're just going off that idea of walking up to that note. We're just, you know, so we're walking up. We're just walking from a little bit lower this time. We're actually starting all the way down at an open D. Good practice for getting your thumb moving around there. So I'm doing 2 thumbs in a row. And then we're going back with some pull-offs as well. It's good practice, you know. Don't do those pull-offs or those hammer-ons and pull-offs too quick. Give those a full 1/8 note. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Give those plenty of time. Alright, here's number 7. We're back to kind of a Scruggs style lick here, so. So very similar to the very first transition, but we're just adding some more hammer-ons. Off there, it's good practice, so we're going. So get 3 notes there. Refer to the tab if you want the exact notes, remember. So another thing you can do is substitute your hammer-ons for slides and vice versa. So you could do. It's an easy way to get some more, you know, usage out of your licks is, you know, take a lick that you know with your hammer-ons and switch it to slides and vice versa. All right, here's number 8. This is more of a single string one, so. One more time. About this one is we're just doing thumb and index, which is the common single string kind of right hand move. Doesn't matter what string we're on, we're doing thumb, index, just over and over again. And then right here, we're actually going to use our middle finger, but so refer to the tab. I've got the right hand all tabbed out below, so. That's kind of more emulating a guitar player or something where you're kind of hearing all the individual notes. Or a Don Reno style, you know, he kind of popularized that single string style of playing. So that's really good practice. It just sounds so much different than the traditional roll, and it can really add some new spice to your playing. So listen to the difference. So I'll do it with the roll first. You know, something like that, like we did for the first one. So here's the single string. Just has that kind of staccato. Good right hand practice too to get your, get your fingers moving around a little bit. Okay, here's number 9. So this is kind of a bluesy one. One more time. Here's number 9. So we're doing our standard roll at the beginning, just like we always do. Then we're going to go into that G7 position again. So we got 3rd fret on the 2nd string and 3rd fret on the 1st string. We're going to do a forward roll and then 2 pinches. So don't do those 2 pinches too quick. Refer to the tab. Then we're going to slide down into our C chord. This is kind of a chromatic way to get back down. Instead of doing, we're going kind of a bluesy sound. We're using that blue note. So one more time. And finally, here's number 10. One more time. Number 10, we're using kind of a chromatic way to get up to a C. Instead of walking down chromatically like we did on number 2, I think it was, or number 3, we're actually going to walk up chromatically. So we're kind of just using a thumb index, thumb middle roll, or the alternating thumb roll to get up there. And you can do that chromatic lick with different amounts of timing, but this is just one to practice. We're using just a kind of a common way to get back down. Okay, remember, refer to the tab if you want the exact notes I'm doing. I'm playing them pretty slow and you might be able to pick it out by ear, but if you're in doubt, just refer to the tab. Okay, so let's talk real quick how to use this. So each transition is 4 measures long. So we're going from G to C in the first 2 measures, and then for the last 2 measures we're going from C back to G. So the 1st and 3rd measures of every 4-bar pattern is exactly the same. So we're doing a straight forward roll on G, and then for the 3rd measure of each pattern we're doing a straight forward roll on C. And I wanted to keep that really simple, and what's nice about this is the way I did it is you can substitute any of the transitions into any of the 10 because measures 1 and 3 is the same. You can switch any of the transitions and they'll work with each other because you can always go back to the simple forward roll on 1 and 3. And then 3. So really notice that remember they're in 4-bar patterns, so that'll keep you kind of grounded in where you're at. That's an easy way to vary these. Once you get them, you can mix them up and combine them. So you can do, a Scruggs one from G to C, and then do a melodic one. So they're all interchangeable, and more than just practicing them the one way that I did it. If you really want to expand your learning and your knowledge, mix them up or try and come up with your own. All right, good luck.